on to our next industry presentation, I would now like to invite Nirmal Singh, founder and CEO, Wheebox.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here. And I thoroughly enjoyed the whole conversation from morning. But I'm not going to tell you more about what do we do and all, because that's anyway part of it. We are very excited to be here because when we look at the whole education economy, our major focus have been what is the total addressable market, what is the total serviceable market, and most importantly, we look at can you or can any organization impact these students to build an outcome for the economy. So if you look at India is a very interesting market here. Almost 83% of the total students in India who are studying are in K to 12. And hence, presume what would happen in next 10 years' time when the students come out, with students who are in standard 5th or standard 6th, when they come out and when they get into the market of jobs, the kind of opportunities and the kind of economy they would be creating. I have that, yeah, thank you. If you look at on the, and definitely higher education, they have a clear 14% market, but India's economy is going to take a boom because of vocational education. Today, the vocational education is only 3% of the total number of students who are studying, but this is the sector which is going to have a major boom in India. But if you look at something, if you look at how many students are actually doing online education in K to 12, how many students are, or what percent of these candidates are doing online education in vocational, that is where you see the kind of growth for all edtech companies or all system integrators or all universities. This is the space that all of us should look at. Now, this is subliminally, if you look at 3%, 14%, 11%, it means the companies that would come in this space are going to be a phenomenally larger acquirer of the economy. But let's compare this with the Middle East and North Africa. This is, okay, so this is MENA I was talking to you about. So if you look at the decade, I would say 2020, 2030, is actually Middle East and North Africa's market. Because what we studied is till 2020 and 2022, because definitely of COVID, the acceptance of online learning grew phenomenally in this space. Definitely when schools started or colleges started opening up, the 100% education from online definitely dipped. But the report says by 2030, with a 14% compound annual growth rate, this is the market which will have almost $9 billion of revenue from online learning space. Online learning includes online simulation, online assessment, so on and so forth. So when we look at the market, we look at the market from a 10 years perspective, and then we say, what can we do in that market? So this is how we are enabling digital economy or digital transforming the education in India. We work with close to 430 odd large and medium-sized enterprise customers. They would use our assessment for hiring people. And we work with close to 250 to 60 higher education institutions for enabling their learning, for enabling their entrance examinations and so forth. I'll just skip it because anyway it's on the presentation. But what we do, very interesting thing is called India Skills Report. I'm sure people from India would know, if you are in education, you cannot miss this report. India Skills Report is a property of Wheebox, along with Ministry of Skills, Ministry of Education, and couple of our partners like Pearson and Amazon Web Services, Confederation of Indian Industry, and People Strong. Now, what we do is each year, we would go to all higher education institutions and vocational education institutions, and we will say that what is the employability index of your students. We would conduct a close to 90 minutes of test that would test their employability skill, and we would go to 150, 160 large corporations, and we would ask that what's your hiring intent for the next year? Now, if you combine both of them, that becomes the India Skills Report. Now, what I'm proposing now is, can we do something for the GCC countries or specific countries in this space? So what we are building next year is, can we have a GCC skills report where almost the candidates who are going to hit the job market, we go very much in advance and ask them, are you really employable in the industry? And we go to the employees, definitely in GCC market, and ask, what's your hiring intent? And that is what our demand I've been looking at. If you look at India's employability index has moved in last 6 years, it has moved from 40% to 50%. It means India is producing majority of employable talent, and that is where the GDP of the country would grow. If we can do that in India with a fairly large 500,000 odd sample size, can we do the same in GCC? And if you look at, we go with a very detailed report. We say which industry, which job, which sector would have definitely the kind of employment opportunities that people are looking at. We would like you to visit us. We are going to be here for next 2 days. Just come and explore India Skills Report. What does they talk about? We are doing some exciting work in the Middle East. For example, we are working with government of Kuwait from something called Public Authority of Applied Education. All 11 vocational education institutions, what we are enabling them, that can we give them kind of assessments that they would be able to take on and get employable when they come out of these oil and natural gas vocational education institutes. We would also be excited to talk to you if you come from education. We would be excited to talk to you about, can we digitize the whole learning, can we digitize the whole assessment, especially in the space that your students could be more employable. That's it. I don't want to take much of your time. I know it's quite late. We would be very excited. My team, Shweta and Nitesh, they're here. So if you get time, just drop in, talk to us. We'll be able to get you a broader view for that we carry from India, and definitely what we're doing, some exciting work in the Middle East market. Thank you and have a great day.